the commitments, the indices, aren't hitting the spot. We're already at about 1.2 degrees Celsius warmer than we were pre-industrial, so we don't have a lot of real estate left. There's some good news and some bad news. The good news is that by 2030 we're projected to be at about 60% of nations will have capped their emissions, meaning at least they'll be not getting any worse. The bad news is that's not enough, and we're not reducing emissions fast enough. We are right now tracking somewhere between 2.1 and 2.9 degrees Celsius, which is just going to be a completely different world than the one that we're accustomed to and that we can really be successful at thriving in.
So Daniel, you say by 2030, 60% of nations will cap their emissions. What's needed, and why is there this reluctance to do the same thing for the other 40%?
Well, some of this is capacity. What we're really talking about here is a total transformation of society. We need to do everything differently, and that's going to require all sectors, all nations to be in lockstep, working together, and we're just not there yet. This has not hit a high enough priority, and this is coinciding with a very, very difficult time globally between what we've gone through with the pandemic, numerous instances of nationalism surging, economies having been substantially impacted. We're dealing with all of these things at the same time. This is going to be a challenge under any circumstance, but first and foremost, there's no volume of dollars here that we're talking about that is going to be sufficient enough to adapt to unmitigated, unbridled climate change. We have got to slow this thing down so that we can make it more manageable. And that means that we need to be able to chew gum and walk at the same time here in our efforts to reduce emissions and adapt to those impacts.